from North Carolina, it's the RH3 Show.
I wasn't scared to go over there.
Look, I do this for nobody but my co-host. Because God first, didn't my co-host.
I done been doubted, I done been counted out, I done been overlooked.
Because your listeners are international, they're worldwide.
The RH3 Show starts right now.
I know I gotta praise because he set me free. Christ said he paid, freed me at Calvary. So I'm gonna dance and there's no stopping me. Don't ever change 'cause I got victory.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Rufus, your boy Red, and as you know, and as you all been knowing, I am the host of the RH3 Show. I've been the host YouTube family for 12 years here on the YouTube platform. And as you all see the title, Wendy Williams reveals, she speaks out to Good Morning America. And so we're going to break it down, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what she spoke about today on Good Morning America. And so, yes, I've been waiting to hear from Wendy for a while, and I have, my personal opinion, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good, but yeah, she spoke with TJ. I believe his last name is Holmes from Good Morning America, and she had a lot to talk about in that conversation on this morning. And so, yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and break it all down to what she had to talk about. And we've, for the past few months, we've been wanting to hear from Wendy, wanting to see from Wendy. And so from the very beginning, she there was a video that came out that released on her Instagram page. I don't know the official name of it because it's very long. I think it's the real Wendy Williams online or something like that. That her and her son posted, and a lot of people were assuming that if it was real or not or whatever. I personally thought it was real. I really think it was real. And even people broke it down to her conversation with her son, this, that, and the third, and whatever. I thought it was real. I thought that she did a bit misspoke a few times, but I really think that it was really Wendy. It was during that time that it was recorded and released or whatever. But yeah, and even whenever people was even saying that whenever she was speaking on her mother being living, whatever, I think she was speaking on the sense of mother, father, sister, brother, all of that, the family sense, not just her actual mother. And she was speaking even in people want to argue that point, that statement. She always speak of her mother, and I am going to play this segment on radio on tomorrow. So, radio listeners, if you hear this, you've already heard me say this before or what have you. But yeah, and my radio family, they hear me talk about Wendy all the time. But yeah, even in that point, but getting to what I'm saying about the interview, a lot of people think that she's not of a sound mind. But here is what Wendy had to say even during that interview on today. Here's what she had to say about that.
Well, when people want control of their accounts, they say anything, including something crazy like that about me.
And yes, that was what, she said about even her mental state, and with her being of a sound mind. And so as snappy as she is in Wendy fashion, she answers it just as that. And I know you all have heard me report about her health and her being in wheelchair and her son going back and forth from Florida to New York to taking care of her well-being, and is she okay, and how her health is. And she answered that, and here's what what she had to say, even talking to um, uh, over the phone about how her health is.
Health is very well, and I actually have had a few appointments. I'm 57 now, and I have the mind and body of a 25-year-old.
My radio listeners, they know and they also hear me speaking in regards to Wendy, and sometimes I uh, do not mention her personal information, or do not mention her personal news reports in regards to what she's going on. Sometimes I mention it, sometimes I don't. And the what's been going on with Wendy, I care to share, care not to share, but being that she exclusively gave this exclusive interview with TJ from Good Morning America, I decided to, also share, because it came from actually Wendy's mouth. And so here's, being in, in dealing with her finances in Wells Fargo. I wanted to, let you all hear and, share what she had to say in regards to her money and what, what's going on with that.
They saying that I need somebody to handle my account, and I don't want that. I want all my money. I want to see all my money that I've worked hard for my entire life. My entire life. I don't lie, I don't cheat, and I don't steal. I am an honest, hardworking person.
And so we know, and it has been alleged that Wendy's son has been deemed the power of attorney over this situation with Wells Fargo and Wendy's money. And so TJ talked, not talked, of course he's talking to Wendy, but yeah, he asked Wendy this question, and I want you to hear Wendy's response. But previously, this previous statement that you heard Wendy speak on, she was very stern with her response. And Wells Fargo think that she can't carry a conversation, as we all see, and well, as we all hear, because this conversation that Wendy is having with Good Morning America and us, as that was broadcasted on earlier today, which is Thursday. It was a phone interview, and Wendy wasn't on camera. Um, it was very a great conversation that Wendy was having, and I feel that Wendy probably wasn't ready. But she gave a great conversation, a great interview, and Wendy was very stern and very, Wendy-like in this interview, and she, you know, wanted us to know what was really going on. Wanted the world, wanted the news to know how she felt, and wanted it out there that, look, this is my money, this is my situation, this is what's been going on, and I want y'all to know what's been going on. Look, I can carry a conversation despite what Wells Fargo has been saying, despite what been going on. But here's what TJ had to ask Wendy. All right.
Why do you think that a bank has taken a pretty extreme step to say we don't think you're of sound mind to handle your own money?
Well, I want to spend more time with my family and, working out and waiting for the responses to my money situation in Wells Fargo. And they don't like that.
Listen, I wouldn't like it either because if that is dealing with my money, dealing with my situation, I mean, I don't blame her. I do not blame her at all. So, Wendy, do what you got to do. Do what you have to do. It's your money. It is your situation. And I've been listening to other vloggers, other YouTube uh, bloggers or what have you, and some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. I try to not give my commentary as too much because I've been, as some of my radio listeners who are listening now, some of them who listen to me on YouTube, I give my uh some of them know, shall I say this much, some of them know that I've been a Wendy watcher, Wendy listener for 20 years plus or what have you. And I don't want to, mix all of, what's, all of this because I personally feel that, you know, what's going on is a bit, a tad bit unfair, It's not because how can you, hold somebody's money allegedly because you've gotten fired. I mean, that's not right. But anyway, um, I'm ready for her to come back. I'm ready for her to do her thing. And like I told another, vlogger in her comment section, no, I'm not a yes man or whatever, because some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't agree with. But with her being returning to the entertainment business, here's what she had to say, and here's what she had to say about that.
Give me about 3 months. There are private things that I have to deal with, and then I'll be ready to come back and be free and ready to do my thing.
And when she said she ready to come back and be free and do her thing, I believe she meant that because if you all know Wendy, she is a workaholic and she don't let nothing bring her down, nothing hold her down. And as again, as a Wendy watcher, Wendy listener for quite some time, I'm ready for it. And I know some of the YouTube family who are watching me, who are listening to me, are that too. And she had a special message for you all, and so I feel personally that she kind of even with this interview was a little bit cryptic, being that it was audio only or whatever. I I hope she come back podcast form. I hope she come back podcast form. You know, I hope she come back podcast form. If she, and even when she said, she come back, if it's television, I hope she come back, sign off, of the Wendy show, sign off and, do her due diligence there and, make amends, sign off or whatever, and then go back to podcast radio form or whatever. But she had a message to her Wendy watchers, her Wendy listeners. And here's what she had to say.
This is what I would love to say to my Wendy watchers. Keep watching because I'm going to be back on the Wendy show, bigger and brighter than ever.
And so, in closing, my commentary on this whole interview, and again, all courtesy of GMA and I think it's TJ Holmes again for this interview. I feel that she gave what she gave. She let us know what was going on, and it was kind of bit you know cryptic a bit, but it was still, that was Wendy fashion. Wendy liked to somewhat leave us hanging, but in the end, she ended up always letting us know what's what. And she was very snappy in the beginning. That's Wendy's fashion, whatever. And so she did that. But she still let it be known. And so Wendy always say, even in her radio, even when um uh during her after shows. And I don't know if she mentioned it actually on air, but when she said it's time for her to hang up this show, she's gonna let those that's close to her know, and then she's out. And so, hey, that's that. That is that. And so, you know, I think that Wendy got some great things up her sleeve, and the best is yet to come. For Wendy, the best is yet to come for Wendy, and so we got to keep an eye out on what's up. And so Wendy, the queen of all media, and when the idea of when it was brought up of her doing podcasts, I'm like, wait a minute, that's something she haven't touched the surface of. She did radio, TV, books, podcasting. I see. But then at the end, whenever she said the Wendy Show, she didn't say the Wendy Williams Show, which is actually TV form. But she said the Wendy Williams Show, and she didn't even mention the production team. She just said her team, or whatever. They ready for it. And so she's building up her team, whatever. And so I'm ready to see what she got going on. I'm ready to see what she got going on. And shout out to her family for holding her down in Florida, whatever, for rocking with her. Hey, I'm ready to see what she, got going on. And so shout out to her. Shout out to, what's what. And so, hey, let's do it. Well, one thing I do want to say, I want to see her, respond positively to, and this is my opinion, I do want to see her respond positively to the comments that Sherry have said to her in regards to giving her flowers. But I haven't said this on YouTube. I have said it on my radio show, which do be broadcast on the YouTube channel. But I do hope that she respond to Sherry, giving her flowers. But one thing I do dislike how all of that stuff played out on Wendy's platform. I didn't like that at all. While it was still the Wendy Williams Show, while it was still Wendy's show, while it was still, whatever. It may be all of that, it may not be all of that on paper, but it was still her likeness, still all of this, that, and the third. Nah, that wasn't cool. And being, a Wendy fan, Wendy watch, or whatever you want to call it, follower of her brother as well. I can't do that. But anyway, as I said, the end of each broadcast, end of each radio show, end of each YouTube broadcast, I love you for real. And I'll see you all next time right here on the RH3 Show on the YouTube channel. Alright, I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
With the beat that is weight, and pray without a Twitter's complaint, and being able to turn down your dinner at 8. That means you gotta say, because the price that he paid for me gave to me my freedom, so I'm not in slavery. Christ made a way for me, grace me then paid for me, a way back to God through the life that he gave for me.
Peace party people, see you later.
I'm saying bye-bye.
Good night, good night.